Beck Pittman has joined the Friends of the Forest at a time when we've had to be more creative and more nimble in our programming than ever before. She actually applied for the job at the beginning of March. By the time she interviewed, the pandemic had started, and when she began work in June, I could have written up a completely different job description than what she thought she was signed up for. But she really hit the ground running, and I just could not be happier with what she's already accomplished and to have her to be a part of the Friends of the Forest. So some of you have met her already, but we're really fortunate to be able to bring her virtually here with us tonight as well, so you can all get a chance to meet our new forest educator, Beck Pittman.
The neighborhood I grew up in was next to our town's conservation land in Massachusetts outside Boston. So a little bit like the ACFL, where it was just a preserved piece of forest. And that piece of forest was so important to me growing up. I would just spend so much time there. I was just interested in animals and plants, and that just led me into studying biology and environmental studies in college. So I have a bachelor's of science in biology and a minor in environmental studies. And I went to college in North Carolina. And right after that, I moved straight to Seattle. And I think that my time that I spent in Seattle working was the catalyst that got me here into environmental ed, because I started there with a few years of AmeriCorps through Earth Corps, and they do environmental restoration with folks from all over the globe. So I was working with local community groups who were volunteering, planting native plant species and improving their local habitat. And that just working with those groups and engaging those folks with nature really lit me up. And I got very excited to learn more about connecting people to nature. So, and building that emotional connection as well. And so I went to grad school for science curriculum and instruction and environmental education. So that's kind of what has brought me here to Friends of the Forest. Well, I think the first most important thing I do want to say right off the bat is that access to nature is an essential human right. And I'm very fortunate and grateful to be working with an organization that values that sort of access. The programming is free. So I think that's kind of my first point of importance of environmental ed. And then, it really provides a space for kids to follow their own learning interests and to learn at their own pace and to learn authentically and to learn in context with the natural world and what they see going on around them. And when environmental education is place-based and inquiry-based, then those kiddos are going to have a really authentic time outside. They're going to be using their senses to observe real natural phenomena and make meaningful connections. So I think it's just a wonderful place for kids to be now, and it has amazing outcomes for the future too when we're investing in our children like this. Well, when I was reading more about Friends of the Forest, I read basically the origin story. It almost feels like a superhero story because of how powerful it is. Like, the community gets together to save this giant chunk of contiguous ecosystem. I mean, and the partnerships that came out of it with the Parks Department and all the organizations that we work with in town in Anacortes. I've been working in environmental education and in the nonprofit world for years and years, and I don't think I've ever felt such a tight-knit community before. This organization in this community is, you can just feel it, that people are really passionate about this place and this land. Well, we did not get outside this summer as much as we would have wanted to. So, of course, we're looking for other ways to engage people and educate the community about the environment. Much like everybody else, we've turned virtual and digital. So we have some lessons online that folks can download, and we have some videos online. And so one of the first things that I think I did was just make a little set of trail cards, and they're kind of set up like recipe cards. So you can print them out, cut them out, bring them with you. They're easy and light, and they're simple. And there's many variations of them. You know, the cards are classic environmental ed um, activities to do outside, but they've been written in a way so anybody of any age can do them. You can do it in the park, you can do it in the ACFL, you can do it in your backyard, just wherever you have a little spot of nature. The watershed model curriculum activity plan on our website is a big one. It's a long project, a lot of steps, and so it's really rich with opportunity. It's written in a way that coaches adults to go through this activity with their young learner in a way with the mindset that an educator or teacher might have. So the questions are laid out and explained so that you understand that you're asking your young learner to think divergently, that you're asking your young learner to really use their true observations to make some conclusions. And the watershed model project has a lot of different layers to it. So you're going to start out by collecting materials around your house, and hopefully this has the potential to be a zero waste project because it's just using recycled materials, whatever you have around. And we also have lots of those materials here at the offices. So if anyone wants to come and borrow or check out, we've got project and materials um, for you all to use here. Yeah, working with the school groups, we just really want to make sure that we're supporting the teachers in the ways that they need, that we're enriching the students' learning throughout the year. We can provide, whether that's PE or science, some of those more, I would say, not, well, I think the schools are working on core skills like literacy and math. And so everything around that, the community is really jumping in to help and support in all these different ways. And Friends of the Forest is one of those organizations that we're just trying hard to support everybody that's trying to deal with these changes.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We're all navigating a new world and all having to be nimble and working off the cuff. So
Yeah.
and
A lot of improv, a lot of
a lot of
flexibility.
improv, a lot of improv, yeah, and a lot of it's going to be a lot of okay. We're gonna try this out. We're gonna go and do this in the morning with this class, and then see how that works, and then maybe we'll take the positive things from that and adjust for the next. And there's going to be a lot of thinking on our feet. But the important part for us is that we are providing that support and we are working as closely as possible with the school district, and we and the parents and the families and giving them that support. And
Yeah.
we
Some feedback that I've heard from families already is just thinking about their new schedules with the way that everything is scheduled these days with school and extracurricular activities, and that things just take longer now to do. And so we're just trying to be responsive to our community.
absolutely.